check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can call for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets, the coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
From Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up.
Okay, Coach, well, the holiday rush, that's in full swing in nearby Manhattan, but we've got football here 8 miles west at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
They start the drive with a give to Powell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Watch 98. 98's the mic. Hey, get in the weight room. Shit. Young lady.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Check 41. All day. Kill. One day.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That's it. Black 80. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Man, that's trash. Twist. Snicker, got spin. Safety cream. Check 37.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
34 yards there and a first down.
Well, they put it all together on that one. Good vision, good blocking. A toss play to the left. How do you toss it?
Yeah, a toss is the underhand kind of egg toss. The pitch is kind of, if you're running the option, you pitch it end over end, correct?
Yeah, I agree
you're
totally. I agree totally. And in the NFL, we'll see a lot more tosses than pitches, because if you're pitching it, you might lose your quarterback.
Absolutely. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play, because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Alert.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Start! 180. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. So don't say nothing. Hey, alert. 53 to Mike, 53.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. He will push his way down to about the 14. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Oh, that's offline. He hooked it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Darnold now to throw. That one complete to Anderson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin Bush, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Darnold. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Incomplete. He was covered by Steven Nelson.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Darnold's pass intended for Jamison Crowder. Incomplete.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
13-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, defense.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
Slam. Sniffer.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Connor on the toss play, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise, Is this defense just going to gang up on the run and shut them down?
So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a third and very long. Now Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mike's on it. Mike 50. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give it to him.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Devin Bush make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is Moncrief for the catch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
And the Steelers first down.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On first down, it's Samuels. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Check 53, Mark. Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Roethlisberger into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Throwing on second and 3. Darnold.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Jets on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. This time they stay on the ground. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Watch the crowd. Watch the crowd.
Here's Powell. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Back to throw, Darnold. Got an open man, it's a known one. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And Anderson's got it. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Let's go. 53's the mark.
Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Single.
Darnold from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Like 5.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Quarter.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the... And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Devin Bush in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run with Connor. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Set. Slack 80. 57. 44. 57.
Throwing on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he finds McDonald. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. It's caught by Moncrief. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
230. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Right here, right here.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, fourth quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
We're about to find out. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Roethlisberger will hand the counter. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
77.
They'll run for it with Samuels. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They start this with a run for Powell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 34-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
How about this offense? Already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive. They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we've seen drive after drive come up empty for them, and they've yet to dent the scoreboard, yet still right in the middle of a one-score game.
So this is where you absolutely have to forget everything that's happened in your previous drives. They don't matter right now. You just mentioned it. One-score game. This drive here can erase all of what happened previously.
First down, Steelers.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll run on 1st down. Powell, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Under 10.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Don't get nervous.
Powell takes it from Darnold. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Darnold with a draw play, gives to Powell. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now, because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Jets have got it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Powell. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And 6.
55. Check 55. Mike. Bring it. Bring it.
Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Jets, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
I came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I didn't know my everybody drop when I drop. This shorty, she support rod. Lifting up, never not on my ride. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Mid beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Mid beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head and when you ever overstated. Your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the destruct. I'ma leave it when it's time. You wanna Christ when the breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on. Come on. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, car on the wrist, all in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch, they saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They LA they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist,
Ice all on my wrist, AOB, just all off of getting money since I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my 50. Ex slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things, pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.